So what's good, everyone? Welcome to day 12. We're going to be focusing on Pilates for posture. So this really means that we're focusing on muscles of the upper back, glutes, and abdomen as well. So it's bringing your posture from this kind of seated at a desk, rounded back, to opening the chest a little bit more, relaxing through the shoulders, and then really focusing on drawing the lower back down and back just to open up the lower back and drawing in the abdomen as well. So we've got to strengthen the abdomen, strengthen the glutes, and strengthen the upper back. So that's today's focus. You won't need anything apart from a glass of water and your mat and a little bit of focus and concentration. So let's get started. So we're going to be in a seated position to warm up. Find a nice comfortable position, whether it's cross-legged or in a kneeling position. And we're going to take a nice big breath in, lengthen through the spine, circle the arms overhead. And we're going to drop the left hand down to the ground, keep the tailbone anchored, relax through the shoulders. And as you exhale, send the upper arm over to the left, gently pulling the shoulder back just to open up the chest. And as you inhale, find that length through the spine, and let's switch sides, sending the right hand down to the ground and reaching over with the left. Inhale to switch. And you're looking for loads of length through the outside edge of the body. So as you breathe in, let it expand and open up the rib cage and open the edge of the body. And last one, bringing both arms overhead, and let's send the left hand behind you, bring the right hand on the outside, the hips for seated twist. Look over the back shoulder, nice and long through your spine, so you've got this beautiful tall posture. You're always trying to keep that length from tailbone to crown. And with the inhale, sweep the arms back overhead, and exhale, we're twisting to the opposite side. With the breath, sweep the arms overhead, transition through the front, back into your twist. So we'll do this a few more times. Finding that articulation through the spine as we rotate. Always trying to keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. And last one. And send the hands down onto the ground. Step the knees back as we come into tabletop. Hands beneath the shoulders, fingers spread, knees beneath the hips. Feel free to flex or point your feet. And with the exhale, round the back, draw the belly button upwards, stretching out the back of the body. And inhale, drop the belly button, lifting the chest forward. So with each breath, send a wave through the spine, opening up the back edge of the body as you round the back, and opening the front of the body as you arch. And last one, finding a nice neutral spine. Set yourself back on your heels as long as it's comfortable to you. We're sweeping the arms forwards, then opening through the spine as we twist, and then bringing the hands back to center, switch side. We're just doing a few of these to further free the spine. Let the eyes track with the hand as it flows back and comes forwards. So we get that articulation through the entire spine. And the last one, Bring the hands back to center and then float them down. So setting yourself back on your heels just to stretch out the soles of your feet a little bit. And we're going to come onto our back, bringing both legs in, setting the feet down, arms down by your side. We're going to take the left leg into tabletop, drawing the belly button down into the spine, and set the left foot down, switching side, bringing the right leg into tabletop. So gently alternate from left to right, pulling the thigh towards the chest and controlling the motion, keeping the hips nice and stable. So building up that tension through the core muscles, beginning to warm them up now. And you're trying to keep that box from hips to shoulders firmly against the ground, so you're rooted. Spine remains nice, long and straight. Feel the thighs warming up and the spine imprinted on your mat. Last one on each leg, and then bring both legs back to tabletop, nice and controlled, and then set the feet down on the ground. Sweep the arms past the hips, tuck the chin gently, and curl up through the spine. So you're looking to draw the ribs down towards the hips and slowly set each section of the spine back down on the ground, finally untucking the chin. Gentle head nod, curl up. Each time trying to get the spine a little bit closer, or should I say the ribs a little bit closer to the hips. Soft through the throat, so we're not building up any tension as we curl up. All of that tension is happening through the abs, and you're lifting through the torso. Maintain that control and connection with the breath. We're here for 2 more. And last one. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Reach further. 3, 2, 1. And roll back down. Send the arms overhead and extend through the legs as we come into a roll up. Sweeping the arms forwards, curling up through the spine. Keep the back of the legs grounded, nice and long through the spine. Rolling back down, one section at a time, floating the arms overhead. Now there may be a little bit of swing in the arms to build up that momentum. I admit there's a small section of the roll up where I still find myself using the arm swing for momentum. But with every time that I practice this movement, my aim is to reduce that. So use the core muscle to roll all the way up and roll all the way down. Oh, there we go. So I lost it there. So roll up. We have 2 more. Last one, stay connected with the breath, rolling all the way down. And final one. And as we roll down through the ground, through the spine, Sweep the arms overhead, one final stretch, and then circle them around, bring them by your side. Pull the heels in to your buttocks. For shoulder bridge, bring the feet hip width apart, and you're drawing the heels in towards your fingertips. Engage the core first, drawing the belly button down to the spine, and lift through the hips for shoulder bridge, squeezing through the glutes, opening up the front of the body, stretching out the abdomen, and slowly rolling down through each section of the spine, and finally landing the tailbone on the mat. Exhale, lift through the hips, coming back into shoulder bridge. We've got 2 more of these. Feel each section of the spine reconnect with the ground. You're looking for that freedom of movement. Last one. And inhale, roll down, maintaining that stability. And then draw the thighs into the chest and gently roll out the lower back. So we're going to roll onto the side, set the feet down and come into a side laying position, resting your head on your arm, on your upper arm, shoulders and hips nice and stacked. And we're coming into a side laying leg raise. So we're going to extend both legs to the bottom corner of your mat, flex both feet, and then separate the top leg. So you're looking to keep the leg directly over the base leg, that supporting leg, and ground the bottom edge of that supporting leg into the mat. Sweep the leg up, keeping the hips stacked. You're working into the glutes, and then lowering back down to hover. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. You can use your free hand for light support, placing the fingertips down on the ground, but palms up. Alternatively, you can place it on your hips. What you're looking for is a nice long spine, engaged core. And if you find that your hips are rolling back, just gently pull them back into alignment. It's not about how high you can lift the leg. It's about keeping that alignment, working into the muscles that matter, the glutes in this instance. And we got 2 more. Lift with control, squeeze, find that tension. Keep that control. Last one. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You're doing good. 3, stay with it. 2, and slowly lower all the way down to the ground. So we're just going to bend the top leg, relieve a little bit of tension from the top glute muscles there, and then pull both knees in. Let's come up and change side. And as we come onto the other side, hips stacked, resting the head on the upper arm, and then extend through both legs. Engage the core, use the hand for light support if you need it, and float the top leg off the bottom leg. Keep the bottom leg grounded, and exhale to lift, squeeze, and lower. This is my weaker side, so I can already feel it working. And for you, you might notice that one side is a little more challenging than the other side. That's okay. All that's telling you and signifying to you is that you really need to just work a little bit harder to strengthen that side of the body, whichever side it is for you. But right now, it's all about keeping that control, putting in that effort, making each repetition count. And let's go for 3 more. 2. And last one. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep going. 4, 3, you're doing good. 2 and 1. Slowly lower down. My legs are really shaking there. And bend the top leg. Gently take a little bit of pressure off. Beautifully done. Okay, so we are coming onto all fours. You want your hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, shoulders drawn down the spine and away from the ears. We're working on a scapular shrug. So before we get into this, I'm going to quickly demo it by facing away from you and just showing you the upper part of my back. What we're doing is drawing the shoulders down and away from the ears, and then we're gently pulling the shoulder blades together without moving the arms. So it's a squeeze, scapular squeeze, and then retraction, working through the upper back as we shrug. So it is a very subtle movement, just isolating a small section of your upper back. So on all fours, what this will look like is the chest lowering down to the ground as you squeeze your shoulder blades, and then pushing away from the ground as your chest rises. So as your chest lowers down, you're feeling that pinch between the shoulder blades, like you're trying to pinch a penny, and then pushing through the ground, creating loads of space between the shoulder blades. So you're actively squeezing the upper back, keeping the arms nice and long, core engaged. And finding all that tension through the rhomboids, upper traps, big squeeze. And for the last one, big squeeze and hold for 4, 3, 2. Slowly push the chest away, creating loads of space between the ground and your chest. Lift through the belly button, keeping the core nice and tight, knees hovering off of the ground. So we're here for 20 seconds, working through the core. Keep the hips stable. I should be able to place a glass of water on your back and you not spill a drop. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're slowly floating the knees down to the ground. Let's take a step back and set ourselves down onto our bellies. So we're bringing the arms out to the side, forehead down on the ground, arms out to the side. So if you can create a T shape with your arms, beautiful. If not, then bending at the elbows for a W will work as well. And as we exhale, we're grounding the tops of our feet and lifting through the chest, drawing shoulders down and back, slowly lowering down to the ground. Imagine you've got eggshells beneath you, with control, not breaking any eggshells. Extend the arms overhead, and then exhale, lift and squeeze through the back of the shoulders and the lower back. Slowly lower down. Draw the elbows back and extend towards your hips. Lift and squeeze. Slowly lower down. Beautiful. Bring the hands back to the W. Rise up, working into the lower back and the upper back. Slowly lower down. Extend the arms overhead and lift. Keep the tops of the legs grounded, and then bring the arms down by your side, creating the A shape. Lift and lower. One more time for each. W. Squeeze. Extend overhead. Beautiful I shape. Lift and squeeze. And lower. And then sweep the arms down by your side for that beautiful A. And lower all the way down. Set the hands either side of your chest. Flex the feet. And push back. Coming into child's pose. Nice and slow. Just to relieve a lot of the pressure from the lower back. Deep breath in and out. So you're just taking a moment here to relieve some of that pressure. And inhale as we come up onto all fours. So, beautiful. We've got 3 more movements to do. So you have options here. From tabletop, you can do your press up. Now we're going nice and slow for the descent in this movement. So squeezing the elbows in, and the main focus is to work the upper back. So squeeze the elbows in, draw the shoulders away from the ears, keep the core engaged. Then as you bend at the elbows, you're slowly lowering the chest to the ground. Let's take 4 seconds more. 2, 1, and push away from the ground. So we're doing 5 seconds on the way down as we lower, bend through the elbows. 4, 3, 2, 1. Press away from the ground. 5 seconds down. 4, 3, 2, 1. And big push. Keeping the core engaged as we lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's do one more. We're really powering up from the ground, but moving as slow as a snail on the way down. Last one. And big press. Send the hips back into child's pose. Rest the forehead down on the ground. Gently rotate through the wrists just to release some pressure there. Change direction. And roll up through the spine. And transition onto your back. So arms down by your side. And we're sending both legs straight up to the sky. So keeping the core engaged, drawing the belly button down into the spine. We're lowering the legs, making sure that the lower spine doesn't arch off of the backs, arch off of the mat. Squeeze the thighs together. Take it as low as you can comfortably go, and then pull your legs back up over the hips. So for leg raise, slow, lower down, and then pull as hard as you can, keeping the lower back grounded. And you're finding a range of movement that works for you, where you can maintain good alignment, working through the abs, specifically your lower section of the abs. Yes, there's a lot of work happening in the hips and the thighs as you pull up, but stay connected with the breath. So there's no tension through the throat, shoulders. Everything's happening through the inner thighs, the abs. Let's go for 2 more. Keep that control. Last one. Beautiful. Bend through the knees. Interlace the fingers behind the head. And then draw the right knee down to the ground. Find that length through the spine. And you're curling up through the abdomen, twisting towards the left knee. And as you inhale, switch, twist to the right. So through bicycles, you're keeping shoulder blades off of the ground, pulling the elbows back to keep your chest open, working into your obliques. Lift the chest a little bit more, drawing it towards the thighs. And we're here for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay with me, and 1. Beautiful. Come back to center. Grab behind the thighs and draw thighs into chest. Deep breath in. And then exhale. Set the feet down. Roll down through the spine. So I want you to transition onto your belly. Let's stretch off. So hips and tops of the legs come down on the ground, forehead comes down, and your forearms are parallel to the edges of your mat, just resting outside of the shoulders. And with the inhale, draw the chest and head up and forwards, keeping the hips down, stretching out the front of the body, the abdomen, grounding the hips, relaxing through the shoulders, allowing the breath to come back to its normal rhythm, and slowly roll down through the spine. Bring the hands either side of the chest, flex feet, push up and back as we come into tabletop. And we're going to take the left hand and thread through, bringing the back of the arm and head, shoulders on the mat. Keep the hips centered so it's not reaching in the same direction as the arm. You're looking for this twisting sensation through the mid-spine. And if it feels more comfortable to you, open the hips a little bit, should I say, open the knees a little bit wider than the hips. And just be curious through your stretch and explore the feeling of freedom, knowing that the hard work's done. For this, you're looking for a twisting sensation through the mid-spine. And inhale, come back up onto all fours. Exhale, rotate over to the other side. And inhale, come back up. We're going to shift our hips back, coming into child's pose. And we're going to take both hands off one edge of the mat, anchoring through the tailbone as we stretch into the edge of our body. Let the inward breath open the rib cage, stretching the obliques, the waistline. And observe the connection with the breath. And with the inward breath, transition through center off the opposite edge of the mat. With the inward breath, come back to center. Roll up through the spine onto all fours. And transition into cross-legged or any seated position that works well for you to finish off. You should be feeling nice and open through the chest. Yeah, a little bit achy through the back, but with that stretching, should help to free up and loosen those areas that we've worked on. Beautiful work today. Excellent. And what more can I say? I'm looking forward to day 13, will it be, where we will explore more dynamic workout. So until then, you have a beautiful day, whatever you do, and I'll catch you later. Peace.